Today's third video for you, some new stories from Ethiopia and Somaliland. Firstly, Volkait, where Amhara regional government is organizing a program in which participants from across Amhara region are taking part. More than 600 guests are arriving in Volkait. What is the purpose of this program? It seems that a clear message is being sent from Amhara regional government to PM Abiy's federal government. Secondly, Somaliland, Somalia, arch rivals. Somalia today announced that it is going to give 11.7 million US dollars to Somaliland for rehabilitation work, for reconstruction work after a massive fire destroyed a market in Hargeisa, Somaliland's capital. Thirdly, we have two video clips for you. First video clip shows a drone, a UAV manufactured by university students in Oromia. And lastly, a video clip of a US senator who is calling for return of Ethiopia to AGOA. At the start of this year, US government removed Ethiopia from African Growth and Opportunity Act, a trade concessions agreement under which Ethiopian exports to US had some trade concessions. Now some US senators are lobbying for Ethiopian government. They want Ethiopian government's return to this AGOA agreement. Who is this senator? What did he say? We have a video clip for you. Firstly, Somalia Somaliland. We know that a massive fire, I think 2 days ago, destroyed a market in Hargeisa, Somaliland's capital. Total loss is estimated at around 2 billion US dollars. It's a huge loss. Keeping in view that Somaliland is a small region, small country. People say, Sajid, don't say self-proclaimed country. I say self-proclaimed because it hasn't been recognized by any country so far, Somaliland. That's why I call it a self-declared country. The loss is huge. Now, Somalia's government is helping Somaliland. Though both are arch rivals, Somaliland wants to be a separate, independent country. Somalia says Somaliland is part of Somalia. Today, Mohamed Hussein Roble, Somalia's Prime Minister, made this announcement that 11.7 million US dollars are being released to support Somaliland. This money, 11.7 million US dollars, it was donated by international aid agencies to Somalia for Somaliland's development projects. So it remained pending with Somalia's government, though it was meant for Somaliland. Now this money, this amount is being released by Somalia's government. It will be given to Somaliland for reconstruction work at the market, Hargeisa market, totally destroyed. Women, small traders have suffered a lot. International community is pledging support for Somaliland's government for reconstruction work. Oromia region President Shimelis Abdisa also contacted Musi Bhai Abdi. Both talked. PM Abiy released a statement. Then a top-level Ethiopian delegation led by Finance Minister Ahmed Shide was in Hargeisa yesterday. Djibouti has also sent a delegation to Somaliland. From Majo, Somalia's president contacted Musi Bhai Abdi by phone. Both talked. UK Prime Minister also pledged some support. So regional, international players countries, they are pledging some support for Somaliland, which it needs. Somaliland is in need of this support because the loss, it was a fire, but this fire has devastated a market which was the hub of Somaliland's economy. And this incident could lead to some improvement of relations between Somalia and Somaliland. Secondly, viewers, we have a new story from Volkait. The territory, part of Western Tigray, disputed between Tigray and Amhara. If I call it Western Tigray, Amhara region's people don't like it. If I say it's a disputed territory, both Amharas, Tigrayans, they don't like it. They say, Sajid, it's not disputed. What should I call it? I am no one to say it's part of Tigray or Amhara. That is why I call it disputed. It's for the people of Tigray and Amhara, for the politicians, for the lawmakers, for the players, for the parties to decide. I am not saying it's part of Tigray or Amhara. Here in Volkait, Amhara regional government is planning a major event. More than 600 guests from across Amhara region are arriving in Volkait. The purpose of this program is to send a message to Ethiopian federal government of PM Abiy that Amhara region will not compromise on Volkait like it did on Raya. Raya is also claimed by Amhara region, but Raya has been taken back by Tigray forces. It is also a dispute between Tigray and Amhara. Raya is now under TDF control. But Amhara regional government, its politicians, they are sending a very clear message that they will not step back from their position about Volkait. So we are seeing such programs in which Amhara regional leaders, their officials, they are visiting this region, Volkait, Humra, Sagade, and they are sending a very clear message that no talks whatsoever over this part, this area, Humra, Volkait, Sagade, Western Tigray. Thirdly, viewers, we have two video clips for you. First video clip shows a drone, a UAV manufactured by some university students and teachers. It's Dambi Dolo University, which is in Oromia region of Ethiopia. There a UAV has been manufactured by the students and teachers. And secondly, a US senator has been heard advocating for reinstatement of Ethiopian government's position, its inclusion in AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act. Under this act, Ethiopian textile exports were being sent to the US without any taxes from the US side. So US had given some concessions to Ethiopian exports. Then Tigray war broke out, and over human rights abuses, Ethiopia was removed from this program. It has led to a serious problem for Ethiopian economy because some industrial parks were established where textile products were being manufactured for exports to US. Now alternative markets are being searched for these exports. Ethiopian economy is already under stress. AGOA is adding to it. US Senator Mark Warner is proposing that now when progress has been made regarding some truce, humanitarian truce, Ethiopia should be instated. It should be part of AGOA once again. He says that women, small scale traders, they have been impacted by this decision, and this decision is having an impact on low paid workers, especially women. US government must review its decision of exclusion of Ethiopia from AGOA. Watch two video clips. First one is from Dambi Dolo University Second one shows Mark Warner, US Senator from Virginia, proposing reinstatement of Ethiopia in AGOA. Thank you for watching.
I want to start my questions in terms of discussing our country's trade relationships with Africa and first country specifically Ethiopia. I know the president made a determination that Ethiopia, because of some of the human rights and other circumstances, was being pushed out of AGOA. I'm concerned, I've got a very large Ethiopian diaspora community in Virginia, that as we do that, we do it carefully because the ramifications it will have for a lot of the Ethiopian civilians, for the economy, for civil society, and particularly in light of the fact that there has been progress made, that the government has reached some level of at least lifting the state of emergency and working with the Tigrayans to try to create some level of ceasefire. My hope is that we can improve our relationships with the Ethiopian government and, frankly, get Ethiopia back in to AGOA. Can you speak about that relationship, and has the recent progress on the ground in Ethiopia sped up any of this process?
Senator Warner, I'd be happy to comment here. I think that we've all been watching what's been happening in Ethiopia with a grave concern, and as a humanitarian issue, it's really heartbreaking to see what's happening in that country. The revocation of AGOA benefits is a result of the criteria and the AGOA program as it's written. We are following the latest developments in Ethiopia. We are very much encouraging the government and others in Ethiopia to continue to make progress.